Shabbat Shalom, dear community family. As we continue in our very sophisticated and challenging journey through history, moving to the next stage of God's revealed plan for our universe, primarily a return to normalcy and balance, a messianic era where people will live by proper morals, ethics, not moral relativism, but moral certitude, morality that's based on foundations of divinity that last through history. And as we toss through this turbulent ocean, so to speak, a single ship surrounded by threatening waves, like we are referred to as the single sheep surrounded by 70 wolves, and we see ourselves as being alone. It is true. Moses, in his last will and testament, already told us, you are a nation that will be alone. Am levodod yishkon. Ubagoyim lo yischashov, and you will not be reckoned by the nations. As today, the United Nations, however they're called, the Rabbi referred to it as a house of darkness, doesn't reckon with Jewish blood. As the Talmud says, a person considers Jewish blood not as red as their own. We have a different standard that they make us live by, or they expect us to live by. And so we ask ourselves the question, we come to that realization, and it's true. We see it in academia, we see it in the professional world, in the political world, in the diplomatic world, in the general world. We see that factor, that the Jewish people have a certain aloneness about them. At the same time, Moses tells us, you are alone, but you're not lonely, because you are connected with the origin of the universe. And we ask ourselves the question, how does that happen? What are we doing? What is the call of the day for you and I, for our society, for our Jewish world that's out there and has woken up to fear, trepidation, uncertainty, loneliness, depression, all kinds of feelings and thoughts that come along with being victimized, with being helpless and hopeless. But we are not that. So what is the call of the day for us? And that brings us to this unique Shabbat, where we will read an extra section of the Torah. We will also take out 2 Torahs, and we will read the Parsha. It's called the portion of Chodesh, the mitzvah to sanctify the month, and the establishment as Nisan, the month of our redemption from Egypt, as the first month of the year. The Jewish calendar has an annual cycle and it has a monthly cycle. The annual cycle begins in the 7th month, Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, and addresses all needs for the coming year. The year changes on Rosh Hashanah from 5784 to 5785. There's another cycle, the cycle of months, where Nisan is the first of the months. And that's the first mitzvah that a Jew has, the month of Nisan to be sanctified. This Shabbat, we will sanctify the month of Nisan, because we will bless the new month of Nisan, which comes next week. We will also read this particular section in the second Torah that addresses the mitzvah of giving attention to the month of Nisan, and to have within our calendric cycle the concept of months and years, 2 factors. What are they? And why do we need the month of Nisan to begin the beginning of months? Cannot the year also begin the months? Like Tishrei, when Rosh Hashanah is, instead of being the 7th month, let's make that the 1st month. Because the world was created around then, according to one opinion, even though there's another opinion, the world was created in Nisan, but the ongoing opinion, accepted opinion, is the world was created in the month of Tishrei, when we have Rosh Hashanah. So that could also be the head of months, because the Jew needs the month of Nisan. Our rabbis tell us in the Midrash, when God created the world, he created months and years, cycles, seasons. When God created the Jewish people, he created a month of redemption. He needed something that was out of the ordinary. Redemption is transformation. Redemption is taking something out of the box into a free space. Redemption is something that not many people wait for. It's the Jewish people that have this hope for redemption. We don't have a hope for a messianic era for some other reason than redemption. We call it redemption. We call it the Geula HaAmitis, the true redemption that we are waiting for. A Jew needs redemption. What is redemption? The Jew has two cycles. The cycle of the annual cycle, where you have to plow and plant and ask for forgiveness and look at your life and take everything in its proper manner, and everything has its space and box. You have to plant. First you have to plow, and then you have to plant, and then you have to irrigate, and then you get to be able to harvest. In Nisan you harvest oats, in Iyar you harvest wheat, and then in Sukkot you harvest everything. There's harvest time and there's planting time. That's the cycle of the year, the cycle of seasons. The cycle of redemption is outside of nature, over the top. It's when we start receiving. It's when we say to God, you have given us a special power. You've given us a special mission. We are ready for that mission. And we can and will make those changes. It's not by having to change anybody around us. It's by changing ourselves and by investing ourselves in the universe and by sanctifying our portion of the universe, which immediately, like a domino effect, sanctifies every portion of the universe. And we get effect, a double effect, not by direct impact, but by osmosis of the universe reaching its proper level. This small nation, we have to impact, be a light to 8 billion people. Yes, we can do that. And all we have to do is live like Jews, ourselves. When we set that example, when we put that power into play, when we utilize God's gift to us to give us a way to live that transcends our normal, natural order, and we become this miraculous chosen people that live through the worst of conditions and reach to the highest levels and continue to do so eternally and have a covenant for eternity, which is unusual. All it takes is recognizing that power that we have. So this Shabbat, we read the mitzvah of the first month of the year. We need it so badly that the Torah begins with the following. Since the Torah is a book of instruction, not just a book of history, why should the Torah begin with creation? Why shouldn't it begin with the first mitzvah? The mitzvah of sanctify the new month. Because the Torah is a book of instruction of how to live like a Jew. And the answer is, written by King David in the Tehillim, Koach Masav Higid L'Amov Losed Lehem Nachas Goyim. For creation, because the nations of the world, they're subject to creation. They're not subject to redemption. They don't have this above nature relationship. They don't have to keep the mitzvahs. To them it's a regular world that operates according to nature. So according to nature, you have to tell them, listen guys, God created the world, it's his world, he gives it to whomever he wants. To establish the fact that the Jew that needs his land in order to be a proper example is not taking anybody's land. He has been given it by the owner of the entire universe. So that supersedes even the miraculous above nature reality of our mitzvahs. But we have that as well. So when we approach the world, we approach it both from a natural point of view, God gave it to us, and it's written in the Torah that everybody can understand and accept, and then he puts us in the above natural form that we can continue to be a light into the nations and bring the balance in the universe that is expected. And with the coming of Mashiach, immediately have a wonderful, great Shabbos, fantastic month of Nisan. All the best to everyone.